YouTube, week 6. This is so exciting. I am 14 weeks out. Insane. I cannot believe it. Feels like it's gone pretty fast. Most weeks. It's like that whole, the days are long, but the years are short kind of thing. Same thing. Also, you get my post-church situation today, so you can know that I actually do fix my hair and wear makeup sometimes. There it is. Okay, so my parents are visiting. They came in yesterday, so I'm going to get this video out and updated so I can go and do some things with them. And even though, I mean, honestly, it just seems kind of silly to even be worrying about a video in the wake of just the absolute insanity that happened yesterday with the rally in Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, not Philadelphia, but Pennsylvania. This just seems so petty at this point, but it's week 6. We're moving on. I want to update it, and so here we go. All right. So I did not have a lot of, sorry, my hair is in my mouth, movement with the scale this week. Now that I've done my check-in, looking back, on average, my average weight went down a pound, but I don't know why I didn't see that when I was in it. And so it just didn't seem like my daily weights were moving. And that was very frustrating. My measurements went down. So my waist is down, my hips are down a little bit, legs are kind of back up. And so that's good. Cause we want, remember we want that S shape. I don't know if maybe you didn't watch the beginning video, but we're looking for an S shape from the side. So that is made by a nice wide shoulder, and lat, and then a tiny waist, and then a nice juicy glute. And so we want the measurements to be doing what they're doing. And so that was exciting, but I don't do measurements until the end of the week. And so when I'm in it, it's just based on scale weight. And a lot of my motivation, and if I happen to like catch a good glimpse, like my shoulders right here are nicely cut out. And so if I happen to like get a good glimpse of something in a mirror like that, then I'll get some fresh motivation. But for the most part, when things are not moving, the motivation drops drastically. And then I'm relying on discipline, which I'm really strong in my discipline and I can do that, but it just makes things a little more tiring. And so that's where we were this week. When you're killing yourself on cardio, your body is feeling kind of wrecked, and you're not how you normally feel, and then to just not have a 5-pound drop, how dare my body, so it was just kind of like a blah week. I just kind of just pulled myself up by my bootstraps and did what I needed to do. Hopefully next week will be better. I know a lot of these feelings are temporary, and so we just stay in it until we're out of it and hope for a better week. I did run it by my coach, so hopefully she'll have some words of encouragement to kind of smack me out of this like kind of lull that I was in if I don't come out of it on my own. And then, so we just talked about my parents being here, and I wasn't sure how that was going to go because my family, we're not Italian or anything, but we kind of, when we're together, it's kind of like a celebration. And so we celebrate by meals and drinks and snacks and restaurants. And that was not happening this time. And they know, but then it was kind of up to me to feed. And so I have cooked a lot of food this week that I didn't even eat. And I was willing to do it. I chose to do it. And so I'm just trying to focus on that. They did not expect it or ask for it, but it was challenging to do. And I talk about this a little bit in the interview with my husband that's going to be kind of merged in this video. It was hard because I wanted what I was cooking. And so when I'm already kind of lacking motivation, and then to really have to rely on some extreme discipline, there's one piece of hair that just keeps wanting to go up my nose. That was challenging, very, very, very challenging. But we got through it. Today will probably be better. Because I'm not cooking as much. My husband is going to grill. And so I hope that it's a little bit easier and less frustrating today, because I got a little overwhelmed with it yesterday. I don't think they know that, and I think I hit it well, but I still had to deal with it. So, and then the other thing is cheerleading is starting back, and my daughter is an all-star cheerleader, and it is a very demanding schedule, as is training for a bikini bodybuilding show. And so having to balance her schedule and my schedule it can be very difficult. Plus dealing with how can I put this? The mama drama and the daughter drama and just all the things that come with that. It kind of can go either way. It can be a nice distraction from what I'm doing, or it can be just like this added stressor on top. So we'll see how that goes with everything going in. I usually juggle it pretty well. It's just hard sometimes to get in, my training, my job, her privates, her practice. School will be starting soon, which is its own, nest of things. So we've got a lot of things coming up. I feel pretty good about it, but we'll see, because I just do not know what's going to happen. But I do know we're going to stay in this, and we're going to get leaned out and ready for the show. My pictures did look good. A lot of lines are coming in, so that was good. And next video, we will do a picture recap, because next week is my 52nd check-in. 52 weeks of check-ins. That's a year, folks. That's a year. So I'm going to kind of try and put something together with all my pictures so you can see a full progression of where we're at, because it's pretty darn amazing. And I'm really, really proud of myself. Even if we were to just stop right here, I've built a whole different body and mindset and knowledge about training and food. And I'm just really proud. So you guys, that will be set up for next week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see it. And like this video, share this video so others can see it as well. So before we go on to the interview with my husband, I didn't feel right proceeding without kind of like a disclaimer. And I want to be sensitive about this, because we do talk about body dysmorphia, and we lightly talk about it. My husband and I are both, I guess the best word would be is kind of sarcastic, and we kind of joke around a lot, and I wouldn't be a good healthcare provider if I didn't at least acknowledge that this is a serious, or a potentially serious issue that people deal with. So I looked up the definition of body dysmorphia from the Mayo Clinic, and I will put the link in my little note box so you can read more about it if this triggers you or feels like convicts you a little bit here on a Sunday. So you can get some more information if you need it. So the Mayo Clinic defines body dysmorphia as an intense focus on appearance and body image. There are symptoms, and so I'm just going to read through them. Okay, so one is extreme preoccupation with a perceived flaw that can't be seen by others or is minor. Engaging in behaviors aimed at fixing or hiding perceived minor flaw. Attempting to hide the flaw with makeup or clothing. And I'm not saying if you wear makeup that you're trying to hide a flaw, or if you wear clothing that you have, certain types of clothing that you have body dysmorphia. Just take this for what it is. And I want to educate, okay? We did that one. Constantly comparing appearance to others. I'm looking at you, Instagram. And frequently seeking reassurance about appearance. Perfectionist tendencies. I'm getting triggered. Little satisfaction with cosmetic procedures and avoiding social situations. So let me hit on that little satisfaction with cosmetic procedures, because I do a lot of anesthesia at a plastic surgery center. And I see this monthly at least. All right. So if any of those sound like they may be you, maybe just perk up a little bit here. All right. And maybe we can either, help you help yourself, or you can just find comfort in the fact that it's me too, to a certain degree. And then I also found, this was interesting. They also kind of on a side note defined this term muscle dysmorphia, and it is a preoccupation with your body build, not bodybuilding, but the build of your own body, being too small or not muscular enough. And then they said it was predominantly males. I would disagree, but that is kind of like this subset of body dysmorphia, is a muscle dysmorphia. And I would say if I fall anywhere on the spectrum, it probably is there. And I just want to tell you that everyone has some degree of this, I would argue. And though in this little interview I'm doing, it seems like we are kind of laughing it off and not taking it seriously, I do struggle with it. Not to extents where it will kind of feed into other disorders, but I am aware that there are people who do. So again, I'm going to post a link. I would encourage you to seek, some sort of therapy, or reach out to a, significant other or family member or something like that if you are struggling, to see what kind of options there are to help you not struggle, because mental health is taking over a lot of my prep, to be quite honest. It's not even the physical thing, it's making sure I'm mentally right. And so do what you need to do to be right up here. Okay. All right. So as we promised, I interview Mr. Bikini himself, about how it is to be on prep with me and just living a bodybuilding lifestyle, when he's not really doing it, he's just kind of drug along for the ride. So we did have a few questions. I hope you find it entertaining and helpful and interesting. And then I probably will talk to my daughter soon about how it is to have a mom doing it, because I think the point of view of a child is interesting. And I will update you. It'll be 13 weeks out next week. So I've got my suit swatches coming. We'll look at those if they get here eventually. And we'll go from there. So enjoy the interview. Have a good week. If you're with your family, enjoy them. And I will see you next Sunday. Okay, so here he is, Mr. Bikini. This is Mark. So a whole 3 of you threw some questions out there. So I think we've got 4 questions to talk to him about. And one of them was for me. 2 might have been for me, and a couple of them were from you. So we'll get those thrown out there. Shout out to my BFF, Sarah, who always throws out my questions and my comments and all the things on the YouTube channel. Love you. All right. So I guess we'll just start with the first one. This was a fun one because I know the answer to it already because I caught him the other day. So do you sneak food that might trigger me? Like sneak eat food that I might like? Don't lie, because I know the answer and I'll tell him the story.
I would say yes, because I know exactly which story she's talking about, but it's not food that we don't normally have anyways.
He sneak ate Kodiak cakes. That's what we're dealing with at our house. Okay, I don't know what else. What else have you?
No, that's what I was thinking of. But I always just eat what we have in the house. But most of it she wouldn't eat anyways, just because it's for our daughter. So, a lot of stuff's.
Are you eating those gingerbread men?
No, I'm not eating any of that either.
Lies.
No, I actually used her prep to do a cut myself. So I'm cutting back a little bit what I normally eat. But no, don't really sneak too much. But I did make those Kodiak cakes when I thought she was in a shower, because I knew she really liked them. So.
I smelled them.
She got out. She took the quickest shower ever in the world. So.
I smelled them from the other room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes.
That's pretty good. So yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, a soft yes. All right. Okay, so I am gonna just be clear real quick. I have some body dysmorphia before bodybuilding, just baseline woman body dysmorphia, or anybody, I guess. And I'll talk about that. I talk about that a little bit in the intro to the video. But so how do you think my body dysmorphia has been, like, since I guess, like, we can compare it from when like normal amounts to since I've been in prep?
I would say it probably gets worse as the prep goes on, but it to me hasn't been noticeably worse than before. Not saying I was really bad before either, but I mean everyone has body dysmorphia.
You too?
It's pretty normal, I would say, but it can definitely impact it. But she does take pictures every week, so I feel like that helps. Not make it as worse because you can really see the progress over 6 weeks, and I noticed progress too, and can see like big changes from before. But I don't think I do a good job of like telling her how much progress she has, make her how well, or how good she's doing, I guess. So in my head, I'm like always telling myself, I'm like, oh, you got to be better about that, or I think the stuff, but most time I don't say it out loud. So I'm trying to be better about saying stuff that I think just as a positivity or
You hear that, husband?
as a I don't know the word I'm looking for, but as just like just to encourage or encourage.
Maybe. Oh, that answered the other part of it. How do you deal with it? Okay, good. You did the whole thing. All right. Okay, this was mine. So what do you like about, because this is new, the bodybuilding lifestyle. I just kind of jumped into this. We slowly transitioned out of CrossFit. He CrossFitted the same amount of time as me. So we slowly transitioned out into more of like a hypertrophy aesthetic training, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about why we did that more, but I don't want CrossFit people coming for me. So we slowly stopped drinking the Kool-Aid and then kind of jumped into this. I don't know. It's probably been about a year. So what do you like about the bodybuilding / prep lifestyle? Because they're kind of different, but just like, what do you like about the bodybuilding lifestyle? What have you liked about the shift into prep? And then what do you worry about with it?
So I mean, I first liked it just because it was something new. So it was something new. I had no idea, knew anything about it. Didn't really ever look into it or caught my interest, but it's actually pretty interesting, the whole process, all the stuff that goes into it. So that's what I do like about it. And then, seeing the changes, especially different from CrossFit because it's just like you said, completely different focus. A lot of different results, so I think that's pretty cool. Things you worry about, I guess, body dysmorphia or what long-term effects that may have like on you mentally. If I don't think you'd have problems because you have like a strong mindset, so I don't really think that's.
It's not much different than what was going on in there.
So I don't think it's going to like
We're
have
still at the
long-term effects.
baseline.
And then of course there's always the worry about like what impact to have on your daughter or on our daughter or people's kids in general. But
yes, she's both ours. Yes,
but she doesn't seem too affected by it really. At least I don't think. But,
negatively affected.
Yeah, she has questions. She seems interested, but I haven't really seen negative impacts on her. So that would probably be the main concern. What was the other question? What was the other part of that?
Just does it. What do you worry about? What do you like about it? What do you worry about?
Okay.
What do you like? I don't think you answered. What do you like specifically about the prep part? Because the bodybuilding and the training is fun when you're eating, but then when you go into prep, I mean, you're not in prep, but like what do you like about my prep part? We're saving $500 a month by not eating out at restaurants.
Yeah, that's what so that kind of goes in.
It's insane.
I feel like that goes
a whole bikini, a whole show bikini.
Yeah, so it does, like, we do save a lot of money not going out to eat like we did in the past. So, but that's
bodybuilding.
That's a good thing.
We'll suck it right up. We find other places. We've now spent it in supplements. There we go.
So
protein.
But I mean, everyone has hobbies, spends money on hobbies. So if you're not doing it bodybuilding, you'll be doing it elsewhere. So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. Okay, we have one more. This came from one of my friends. So, and I don't even know if you can answer this. I can probably answer this better than you. What sacrifices have you / do you make to help me prep?
So
I feel like I should answer this,
already
but you can go.
Said the one we used to go out to eat every Friday, kind of like a family going out to eat thing. So we don't do that currently, but
I
don't really see it as our sacrifice because it's only temporary. Prep's only temporary. It's not like we'll never do it again. And then we also, like, the other side is, like we already said, you save money on it, so you could, it kind of counteracts it. But I don't really see it as a sacrifice. And then,
but we could. I just would have to bring my food, which I'm 200% willing to do.
Yep.
But I presented that to my daughter the other day, and she's too cool to have me roll up in there with my meal preps. So we have been doing we're not like just eating chicken on Fridays. We're making pizzas at the house. Like we're doing like some fun things.
And I feel like we replaced it with like making pizza, like she says, what we've done like couple weeks in a row now, which is, tastes just as good. And
maybe I don't know how it tastes.
Then we end up doing like a family board game night, which is, it's not going out to sit at a restaurant, but it's still like a family time. So it's still fun. So I don't really see it as a sacrifice.
I don't think she really cared that much about going out to eat anyway, because we would like alternate whose turn it was to pick what restaurant, and every time, if it wasn't Cracker Barrel, every time, I love Cracker Barrel, but oh my god,
that's her
it's her time. Anyway. If like it was her turn, it would be like pulling teeth to figure out where she wanted to go. Whereas like we were like, no mushroom, we're ready, let's go. And so I don't think she really misses it all that much anyway. So, anything else you want to add?
No.
Can you believe it's 6 weeks? We're 14 weeks out. That seems kind of fast.
25%.
Yeah,
it does seem very fast.
That first quarter seemed good. Have I done anything? Have I been like emotionally unstable yet?
No.
I feel like there's been a couple times.
Well, you have it.
I held it together. Okay.
Like, has it been obvious to me at least?
There's just a couple times when I'm having to like yesterday when I was having to make food for everyone that I wasn't going to eat. My parents are visiting, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but my parents are here, and I'm cooking.
She's cooking for probably 2.5 hours, and most of it was not for her.
Yes, I was cooking my food, like just normal meal prep, and then like what I was making for the family, and it was seafood that's not on my meal plan right now, and that's probably the first, and that sounds ridiculous, like I'm cooking shrimp and drooling, like, but I like seafood, and so it was like an hour of cooking food that I really would have liked to eat and didn't, and that was very challenging and like kind of emotionally overwhelming, and that seems so stupid, but it was kind of one of those weeks anyway. But yeah, so okay, good. Do you like it so far? Do you think, what did you think when I told you, I should have put that one down, what did you think when I first told you, like, hey, I think I want to do a bodybuilding show?
I mean, I thought it was cool.
Immediately you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was something like, oh, there's no way she'll be able to do it. I didn't think that. I figured you could do it.
Yeah.
I also like I said earlier, I didn't really know a whole lot about what it involved either, so didn't really have a opinion either way. But I mean, I think it's cool. Still think it's cool.
How do you think my shows are gonna go? Ooh, I said shows. Spoiler alert, I'm doing 2.
I feel like
I didn't tell anyone.
I feel like you're gonna do well because, like, as I've we learn more, like I go look into it more, and just on Reddit, there's just a group of people that do bodybuilding or bikini shows, just all the different divisions in general. So, I'll look at that and see other people how they look, but I feel like she's gonna do well. So.
He goes, I will not look at people and who are the same weeks out as me, because I don't want to mess, like, up here it's crazy up here enough. And so he goes and looks, and then he reports back like, oh yeah, you're on track, or I don't know that you've ever told me. He would never tell me if I'm not on track, but he will tell me if I'm like, things are looking comparable to other people. You see how sweaty? I'm so sweaty.
I think so, like,
Dewey, no, it's not. I'm literally sweating. I haven't stopped sweating since I got off the treadmill. Anything else? I'm trying to think what else. Do you worry about steroids?
No. Not bikini, because I don't think it's that rampant in bikini. not anything that would give you like a significant advantage or not give you a significant advantage. Since
We have an overall neutral stance on steroids anyway. I'm just going to throw that out there. But I'm not taking any right now. No performance-enhancing drugs.
It seems like Bikini's not. They don't do.
I don't know. No one talks about it, so I don't know.
Like the hard stuff you see like bodybuilders doing. So
no, well they wouldn't have to. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? That'd be so...
I mean, I don't know.
The female open bodybuilders, I'm sure, but yeah.
No,
anyway, that's enough of that. We're just chit-chatting about things we don't really know anything about anymore. Okay, that's it. Here was Mark,
Thanks.
the beekeeper. If you go back and watch like video 2 or 3, his bees come for me in the morning. How are they? Hot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're good.
We might get honey. Oh, we might get honey soon. Guess who can't eat it? I'll have to save it for show day when I'm slathering it all over rice cakes or whatever the peak protocol is going to be. I don't know. I'll have like my own honey. I'll be like doling it out backstage. So, all right. Well, my parents are here, like I said, so we're going to go play host. And I should be nice because they're probably going to watch this. And I'll clip in some like pre and post video here so we can do some updates and stuff. It won't just be this interview. But thanks for watching. You did a good job. You weren't super awkward.
All right, thanks.
It was good. All right, maybe we'll get you back on here when we're a little further in and like stuff is getting deep, and we'll do a recap of how things have gone, and he might just be like huddling in a corner or something. We'll see. All right, say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, wait. Don't go anywhere yet. I left out the answer to a question, and I have to answer it real quick. So this question was not for my husband. It was for me. And it was, how much am I training and how do I fit it in? And if, I'm so sorry if you hear whining in the background, it's our dog. She's literally right here and just wants attention constantly. So how much am I training and when do I do it? So I did some calculations, and I'm embarrassed to even say. So right now in prep, I have 3.5 hours of cardio a week, and I have about 8 hours of strength training a week. There's only 7 days in the week, folks, so math that one out. There is not a day that I'm not either doing strength training or cardio or both. And I also work 2 to 3 days, sometimes 4 days a week. So what that looks like is 4:30 a.m. strength training sessions, plus or minus cardio. If the cardio does not happen with the strength training session, then it will be done that night. So it will be split. If it is just a strength training day, it's an hour to 2 hours depending on body part. And if it is, I'm trying to think, if it's just a cardio day, then we're usually sprinting. So I'm doing something every single day, anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours at a time. So it's real busy. That is not what I'm doing when I'm not in prep. Cardio is way down. Training is about 4 days a week is what it was before we went in. It's a lot different, but this is what is done for bodybuilding prep. It is hard to balance, but I have kind of a system and we get it done, and it's important, and so I prioritize it. And that's the answer to that. So that's all. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you next week.